So this Tuesday we're going to draw a crab like you see in the Under the Sea leggings. So start with a big circle, kind of like an oval, that's his main body. And then we're going to give him two big front claws. So let's kind of sketch roughly where we want them. Remember the blue pencil on screen is pencil, and then we'll go over it in ink. So now they have 4 feet, and this is really important to draw in pencil because they're really hard to draw because they overlap with each other. So we've got 4 legs coming down this side and another 4 on the other side. And you kind of put them wherever you want, and when we draw them in we'll be really careful. And now we want his eyes. They're going to be sticking up, big circles there. And then that's kind of the top of his shell because his belly is going to be yellow and the top of his shell is going to be red. So now we're going to go over things in black ink, and you see I've kind of moved his claw away a little bit from where it was because I want it coming out from his belly, not the top of his shell. And here we'll do the second claw. This one's going to be closed. And with crabs usually one claw is much bigger than the other, but it's your drawing so you can do what you want. Now we're going to go with his eyes, so bring them right up and a nice big circle, and he's looking to the side, and we'll give him a bit of an eyelid, and then we'll do the same with the other eye. And we could make him cross-eyed, but I've decided to have him looking over at the side instead. So there we are. Now we're going to bring his shell down, and the top bit of his shell where it ends is also kind of like his mouth, which is kind of fun. So it looks like he's kind of not sure. He's got a wibbly wobbly mouth, and that's kind of half the fun with crabs. And you can make it sharper so it looks more like big teeth, or smoother as well, kind of like waves. So it's up to you how you want his shell to look. Now we've done his belly, and now we're going to do the hard bit, which is his legs. So we follow the line, and we always do the front leg first because the back legs are going to hide behind the front leg. So there we've the first leg, and now we follow the line for the second leg and stop when we get to the front leg so we don't cross over it. Again, if you wanted to draw all of this part in pencil and then go over it in pen, that's always a good idea as well. And then you can rub out the pencil afterwards if you make a mistake. So here we are with our third leg, and then we're going to do the back leg, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. So I'll just finish this one up so you can see me going gently between the different legs so that I don't end up accidentally drawing through the legs, but that happens as well, and that's cool. Right, so here we go on the other side. I've sped it up a bit because you've seen me do it on one of his sides. So just kind of gently drawing in the legs, and the front one always goes first, so then you know where not to go when you draw the back ones. It's a good kind of thing to learn. And there we go. And once they're done and we're happy with them, we are going to rub out our pencil lines. There we go. So there's our crab. So now let's start colouring him in. Oh, but before we do that, what's he looking at? Well, I think he's going to look at a couple of fish. So we're just going to draw a few fish there so we kind of know what he's looking at. And then maybe we want them to look a bit more like they're under the sea. So we're going to add some bubbles coming up from the fish and coming up from the crab as well, and maybe background because he's on the sea floor. We're going to do some seaweed. Again, I should have really drawn this in pencil first, but it's okay because I have an eraser so I can rub out all of the lines going through and it'll be fine. And there we go. And then maybe a little bit more seaweed. This one's a bit more wriggly. And we'll do a couple of shells on the sea floor because that's always nice. and one of them is going to be using a spiral that we actually learned how to do when we did our snails a couple of weeks back. So there we go, and now we're going to colour him in. So I've decided to give him a yellow belly, and then we're going to colour the small fish in orange, and the crab himself is going to be red. Now there's lots of different coloured crabs. I just like drawing red crabs, but you could have him coloured in blue, or you could do loads of lovely patterns on him because there's such a thing as a blue crab. Some of them are brown. So really, whatever you'd like to colour him in would be perfect. So now we're going to do all of his little legs one at a time, and then we're going to have a big red crab sitting at the bottom of the ocean looking over at the fish. And we're going to do the seaweed. So I've decided this seaweed's going to be green. Again, there's lots of different coloured seaweed, so you can go any colour you like. The other seaweed I'm going to do it brown because my favourite seaweed is bladderwrack, and that's brown. And then I'm going to use the brown, and I'm actually going to draw lots of tiny little circles around the crab's head and his claws, because it kind of makes him look a bit different, like he's got freckles. And then we're going to colour in the shells in the background, and his eyes go white, and the bubbles as well. Now I've sped this up, but you get the idea. And there we go, our crab at the bottom of the sea. Now you try.